All right, hello. So I just wanted to make a quick video about graphing today because we've already talked about the patterns, we've already talked about tables, and we've already talked about equations, but I wanted to show you what to do for the graphs. So really quickly, we have this graph right here which has a couple points on it. We want to make sure that, remember, whenever we write an equation, we have to have two things. We have to have the growth, which is going to go right here next to x, and then we have to have the starting value, which is going to go right here all by itself. When we're looking at a graph, we want to look at the two places that is going to give us the growth and the starting value. My starting value is always at 0, right? So I want to look where it's hitting this line right here, which just so happens to be at 0 as well. So that means my starting value is here, it's 0. And then we're going to look from one point to the next point to see how far up we're going. That's our growth, right? So there's one box here, one box here, one box here, and one box here, which means we are growing by 4 boxes. And that's how we can write an equation based off of our graph. Let's look at another one. What if I give you, this one. So again, looking at this picture, we want 2 points. We care about this point, which is our starting value because it's on this y-axis that says 0. And this is a 1 this time, right? Which means our starting value is 1. So I know over here at the end of my problem, I'm going to add 1. And then I want to see how much it's growing by. So from here to here, it's going up 1, 2, 3 boxes. So then that means my growth here is 3. Okay, let's look at one more of these. So again, I'm looking at this one. Again, I want to know 2 things. I want to know my starting value, which is where it hits this line, and then I want to know how much it's growing by, just like this. So again, my starting value in this one looks like it's at 1, 2, so my starting value here is at a positive 2. And then my growth right here is going up 1, 2, 3. Now, right now, because we're talking about patterns, we're not dealing with any negatives. I will let you know that we will eventually deal with negatives. This could be starting down here at a negative. My line could look like this, right? And it could be starting down here at a negative number. My line could also look like this, and it could be going down, which means it can be starting at a positive value 5, but it might be going down, which means my growth is actually negative instead of positive. We'll talk about that more later, but again, for right now, you're just basically converting back and forth. So for your assignment today, you are going to be looking at these patterns, and you're going to be flipping from one to another. So notice here they got a pattern. So you can fill this in. You can say, okay, this is going to be figure 1, and in figure 1 I have 3 things, and this is figure 2, and in figure 2 I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. And then you can draw your graph, right? You put your point at 0, 1, and you can put your point at 1, 3, and you can put your point at 2, 5, and so on, right? And then you can come over here and you can write your equation. Well, then my equation would be y equals, it's growing by 2 each time, so 2x, and then it's starting at 1. So right here is my starting value at 1. And that's what you're going to be doing today for the assignment, okay? I think that's it.